Hi, my name is Darren Lee. I'm 32 years old. I am originally from Dallas, Texas, but grew up in Memphis, Tennessee. A little bit about me. My I've been around music my whole life. Uh, my grandmother was the minister of music in Texas, where my grandfather was the pastor. Um, Growing up, I was always intrigued by the piano and how it made you feel, the expression that you play behind it, and how you can move people that are sad to happy. Um, and that's one thing that I always loved about not only just the piano but music itself. I remember growing up and asking my grandmother to teach me, the basics of the piano, and because I was here in Memphis and not back in Dallas where she was, she only could show me Mary Had a Little Lamb on the piano, the single note Mary Had a Little Lamb that everybody starts out with, and she said it's up to you to take it and go with it as far as you want to, and that has always stuck with me. And she told me the one thing that I never forget is that make sure that the music is strictly from the heart to the point to where that you're going to do it whether you get paid for it or not. You do it because you love it and not because you 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 can gain something monetarily from it. And that's one thing that has stuck with my heart to where um, in in elementary school I was in the string ensemble. Middle school I was in the band, played the French horn. To when I got to high school is really when I started to develop and really know that I wanted to do music. Outside of everything else that I used to do, playing football, tried out for the baseball team, music was always home base for me. And I started to really engulf myself in learning the piano, as well as I was in the choir. I did all West honor choir for a couple of years. Then after that, I ended up pursuing a music degree at Tennessee State University in Nashville, Tennessee, where I I majored in piano performance to really just understanding music as a whole, not just from my from my church playing background, but from the classical uh, to the gospel to the country to the rock, and allowing myself as a musician to really be able to hone in on staying true to those genres and not necessarily my playing style. I heard about the BB King cruise line, oddly enough, from a couple of friends that I know that came out of TSU that have actually been on the cruise or currently still is on the cruise, and they have came and approached me and asked me, saying, "Hey, you know, since you like entertaining and playing, why don't you try out for this cruise line? It's a great way to entertain." And I said, I gave it some thought, and I said, you know what? Why not? You only live once, and if I can touch at least one person with with me playing and make them feel good even on their bad days, then I know I've done my job as a musician. Um, what excites me potentially about being a part of this cruise is, as I said in my last question, honestly touching people, um, even in their worst of days, making them forget about the bills or any other problems that they may have back at home, and allowing them to really, you know, make themselves happy through music, because I believe music is the universal language, where words fail, music speaks. One skill that I would like to improve on as a musician is, I would say, my hearing um, when it comes to music. I want to be able to really focus on those key parts and not miss um, the, s- the minute stuff that most people won't hear in music, but would be a big deal if it was missed. I want to really push myself to become the best that I know that I can be. My own working style, I'm pretty critique when it comes to learning music. Um, I tend to take things by sections instead of trying to rush through the whole thing. Um, I take it part by part. By first, I'll listen to the music with without playing anything. Just listen to the song a couple of times all the way through, just to kind of involve myself in the music and allow the music to take over and allow it to feel allow me to feel what the song is meant to be felt. Um, then I go into a mode to where I, of course, find out the key, the tempo, and then I normally try to break it out in sections. You know, intro, verse, chorus, then go back to the verse, or there's a bridge or any slight changes, and get the foundation of the chords, and then I go back uh, the next time and start working out the parts of how is the verse played. Is it in the upper register, lower register? Is the playing style kind of freely and open to interpretation, or is it stuck uh, to what the artist is doing vocally, and is it accompanying, or is it more of a a free feel or a free flow? A time I had to work closely with someone's personality that was different from mine was probably when I really first started music, and I had my first actual professional gig. Was he he had asked me to play for a friend that he knew, and his personality was very negative. He didn't believe I could do it, and he was just talking very negative about it, and just saying, I hope you can do it. I hope you don't disappoint. Um, but you coming from a church background, and this is blues, and you don't know, you're too young and too inexperienced, and it was very hard to deal with it, but I knew that I had to stay true to myself and true to what God has given me with music, and allow the music to speak for me. Um, One time that I had a conflict with working on a team was honestly very recently. A band that I play for, the guitarist, um, she kind of had a nonchalant attitude about learning the music, and wanting to really just focus on the songs that she wanted to play, but nobody else's. And the way I dealt with it was I, pulled her to the side and really just talked to her, saying that, as a professional, there are things we have to handle whether we want to do it or don't do it. This is a business, and this business is not in the image of you. Everything that you do, you are representing the band and not you personally. So when one fall, we all fall as a team. and she understood what I meant by that, and pretty much turned it around and was really engaging and actually learning all of the songs so that we're not, you know, rehearsing, trying to practice. Uh, one time I was there's one time I was up under a lot of pressure. Honestly, goes back to my first professional gig as a musician, where I only had 4 days to learn 18 songs for the gig, which is why the guy was very negative about it because he didn't believe I could do it. And instead of griping and complaining about it, I stepped up to the plate. I pushed through. I remember falling asleep with the headphones in my ear. I had made a playlist of the songs and just kept it in my ears all night long, even when I was sleeping, when I would wake up, and just really, really grind to make sure that hey, show him that hey, I know I can do this. This is for me. This has been my dream. This is my heart, and I can do it. And ended up proving myself worthy of to him, but uh, surprising a lot of people that in their minds thought that I could not do it. Um, if if chosen, I would be able to start immediately, ready to get the ground running, ready to work, ready to allow myself to be immersed in the music and allow myself to touch people through my music throughout the world. Thank you. This is the first audition, Route 66 by Natalie Cole. second song of video audition, Dr. Feelgood.